My fiancé Dan is completely obsessed with DIY projects. He refuses to pay for lumber if he can find reclaimed wood for free on the internet. Last summer, he decided to build a massive 2-story treehouse for our boys, right in our backyard. He drove 2 towns over to pick up a huge stack of thick, dark, weathered beams from a guy who was giving them away. As soon as Dan unloaded them in the driveway, I smelled it. It was this thick, chemical odor, like hot tar mixed with old motor oil. I told him it smelled toxic and begged him not to use it. Dan just laughed at me. He said it was just rustic charm and accused me of wanting our kids to grow up in a sterile plastic bubble. We had a huge fight, but he built the treehouse anyway. The boys loved it. They spent 5, sometimes 6 hours a day in there. 2 weeks later, our youngest, Sam, broke out in this horrific, blistering rash all over his arms and legs. Then, our older boy started getting these awful, hacking coughs that kept him up all night. Dan insisted it was just poison ivy and maybe some summer allergies. He told me to put some calamine lotion on it and calm down. I didn't listen. I called an independent environmental inspector while Dan was out of town. The inspector walked into our backyard, took one look at the treehouse, and physically pulled me away from it. Those rustic beams? They were discarded antique railroad ties. They were soaked straight through with creosote, a highly toxic, cancer-causing chemical that was literally off-gassing into the enclosed space of the treehouse. Every time our boys climbed those steps, they were rubbing their bare skin in industrial toxins and inhaling poisonous fumes. The boys had to go on a heavy regimen of steroids and breathing treatments. We had to pay thousands of dollars to have the entire structure dismantled and disposed of as hazardous waste. Dan stood by the window, watching the crew haul it away, completely silent. He hasn't touched a tool or looked at a DIY tutorial since.